Joining us live now, Redbridge Group Director Simon Welsh. Simon, good to see you. Are Australians finally at their wits' end?
Yeah, we were in the field last week within hours of the announcement and there for the rest of the week. It has become absolutely brutalising. It's not uncommon now that in every group that we have people break down in tears. And folk are talking about just being able to maintain the necessities, and they make that point, the necessities in life. They're not talking about going out. They're not talking about fancy dinners or flash cars or anything like that. They are talking about the necessities of life that they're struggling to maintain. And what we've seen, particularly in this last week, is a real sharpening of an expectation of help from the federal government. It's effectively a call for mercy. That they're saying enough already. We need government and want government to intervene, either intervene on this RBA. They're conscious, they're very aware of this distinction between the RBA and the government, and they want to see the government either intervene on the RBA or do something about the costs that they're experiencing whenever they go to the checkout, for their basic groceries, these sorts of things. It has become... It's now flipped that coin from being people up to now sort of been looking and going, well, inflation, it's complex. There's all these causes. We've got war here and supply chains there. They are now talking about an expectation of government intervention.
Yeah, and they'd been told that there was issues that were outside of the government's remit. You've got war in Ukraine, you've got a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening post-pandemic. So now is that changing where people are starting to get angry at the federal government?
100%. I wouldn't say they're angry at the federal government yet. They're at that point of now's your time to intervene. You've got this window, right? Enough is enough. We want to see some action and we want to see it soon. So there's sort of still this window for them to do something about it. But whether it's federal governments or even state governments, anyone that they have a suspicion is sitting there twiddling their thumbs while they're going through this kind of economic trauma is going to feel a hurt at some point.
Just a couple of other issues at the moment. We've seen the Resolve monitor this morning, the Voice just trending downwards. This is off the back of Newspoll in recent weeks as well. So they're following a similar trend. If things don't change, I mean, is it over?
It's never over till it's over, and I think the challenges are mounting for the Yes campaign, because when you've got this type of profound economic stress in the electorate that we've got at the moment, it simply makes it hard to cut through. We're not seeing any sort of reduction in people's compassion, empathy and sympathy towards Indigenous people. That sort of underlying attitude isn't changing. What's really changing is the communication landscape, the campaign landscape. So that ability to be able to cut through, as we know that there's been sort of, focus groups, people tell us that there's been campaign failures up to now. They haven't articulated the why this particular change, why now, and what difference will it make. So they've still got that communication challenge, and that just becomes harder and harder as people become more focused, as I say earlier, on the necessities of life. That's where people are at right now.
Fair enough too, Simon.